change your clothes, your address, and even your name. Yeah, you can call the shots, especially if you're hot. Just be grateful for the God gifts that you got. You can be a vegan if you want. You can play the guitar or just play with your junk. There's a million times a million myriad ways to catch a thrill. Just do your best to not fuck up your grill. I'm saying don't get a tattoo on your face. Take another second and think of a better place, because a tattoo is a past you that's hard to erase. Yeah, don't get a tattoo on your face. Mike Tyson in the audience tonight? I hope not. You can pierce your penis and bronze your boobs. You can post your shitty comments all over YouTube. Yeah, you can grow your pubic hair and run naked in the wild. Yeah, please do not compromise your pretty smile. Everybody singing, don't get a tattoo on your face. Yeah. Take another second and think of a better place, because a tattoo is a past you that's hard to erase. Yeah, don't get a tattoo on your face. Ooh, don't do that. There's no turning back. Ooh, stop. Let a real tear drop. Let a real tear drop. I'm an island boy. This song, it was co-written by your mom, co-sponsored by your in-laws and every future boss. Your expression is a blessing from the second that you wake up. Consider second-guessing your permanent makeup. Don't get a tattoo on your face. Everybody, take another second and think of a better place. A tattoo is a past you that's hard to erase. Yeah, don't get a tattoo. Hey, let the thought go past you. The top and the back of your ass will do. Don't get a tattoo on your face.
This is a dream. I'm so excited. What a show. Are you guys having fun? Wasn't that song fucking hilarious? Oh, god damn it. Okay. I have one more opener for you. You're gonna love it, and then I'm gonna come out and we're gonna have so much fun. The next thing I'm bringing to stage. Oh, before I do that, hey, if at any point you need to go to the bathroom or anything, or like you have just a panic attack or something, just get up and go. I'm not gonna make a big deal of it and be like, look at this lady taking a shit. You know, like I'm not that kind of comic. You'll be I'm just appreciative you guys are all out amongst each other. Everyone has social anxiety now. This is probably a fraught decision to even come here. So thank you for being here. You're free to do whatever you want. And with that said, I want to bring out your final opening comedian. He is my co-host of my podcast, the Nikki Glazer podcast. He is my roommate in St. Louis, Missouri. He's my best friend. I met him originally when I was living in New York with Anya Marina. And I was walking in my neighborhood, and he used to be a dog walker that would walk dogs in my neighborhood. He walked this one dog that had wheels for legs, which, and I didn't know him at the time. I used to take pictures of strangers on the street and post them on Instagram, because I was like fancying myself like a street photographer, which is just like an artsy way of saying like creep, who's invading people's privacy without their permission. And I took a picture of this dog with wheels for legs. Which I like that because you can like take a picture and be like, is this cute? It has wheels for legs, which you can't do with people. Like with people with wheels for legs, you have to be like, I don't see it. And it's the same. And you're like, their eye line is like 3 feet above their head. You can't acknowledge that it's different. But with dogs, you can be like, what happened to it? It's so cute, you know? So I took this picture from behind of this guy walking this dog. And I captioned it, people in my neighborhood are so rich, they don't put their dogs down, they just add wheels. And it's true, this dog should have been passed at this point and was dying to die. And I thought nothing of it, people liked it, but then people started writing in the comments, that's Andrew Collin, and like tagging him, and I was like, oh no, like I got busted. I took a picture of a stranger, and now that they like know that I did, I felt bad. I didn't know he was a comedian, and I started following him just as like, hey, we're cool, right? And he was like, oh, it's fine, I liked it, it was funny or whatever. And then I followed him for years on Instagram. I moved to Los Angeles after like a year or so later. Moved back to New York 5 years after seeing him the first time. And he'd always show up on my feed, kind of like dancing with poodles and doing silly things, but I thought nothing of it. We weren't like communicating. I moved back to New York and I had 2 dogs of my own at this point, and I was like, I gotta find a dog walker. I was in the same neighborhood where Andrew used to walk dogs. So I wrote to him on Instagram and I go, hey dude, do you know any comics that still walk dogs? Because I really need someone and I'd like to give the job to a comic, you know? And he was like, I do, it's me still. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, times are tough. Can you meet me? I said, meet me at the Bed Bath & Beyond tomorrow on 6th Avenue. I'm going there to get a duvet. Meet me I'll be probably in the duvet section. And, which I now, knowing Andrew, realized he read that as dovets. He was like, he probably asked someone when he got to Bed Bath & Beyond, where are the dovets? It was probably a whole thing, but he met me. He doesn't have the job yet, by the way. My dog is in the cart, because I knew Andrew liked his dogs in wheels, so I had Luigi positioned in the shopping cart. And Andrew came up, he's a little nervous, and we were both like, hi, this is my dog, and I'm asking him kind of like questions, and then out of nowhere, I don't even know what prompted him telling me this, because it was a minute and a half into us talking. He tells me that at one point in his life, he got an AIDS test as a virgin, because he fingered a girl and he bites his fingernails. And I was just like, and what are your greatest strengths as an employee? I guess that covers weaknesses. No, it was like, this is such a weird thing to say, but I loved it because it was just such brutal honesty and hilarious. And it is true, he'll tell you about it. It was just so weird, and I go, can you just like walk my dog, but also like, will you just hang out with me a lot? Because that was so funny and weird. Will you be on my radio show, and will you open for me at Caroline's? I didn't even know if he was a funny comic. I just heard that, and I was like, I gave him every job I could. And it turns out he was hilarious. We were friends, quick friends, started opening for me on the road. Cut to years later, I am living at home in St. Louis during the pandemic. If you don't know, I lived with my parents for 10 months, starting in March 2020. And a lot of people are like, it's embarrassing to admit that when you are an adult person who lives at home with your parents, unless you're Asian, like it's okay in their culture, but like as a white person, it's a step above a homeless shelter, and people were worried. So was I. It was embarrassing. Because it's not like I was like, people know, they're like, you're doing all right, like you're successful, you're 37, why are you living at home? And so I got rid of that therapist because I'm like, stop asking about it. I don't want to go into that door in my brain. So I had to move out because it was just, even though I was having fun, my parents are great, I lucked out with them, they're just like cool and fun and alcoholics is what I mean by all that, and they like to drink a lot, and I don't even like to do jokes about it because my mom actually recently just quit talking to me, and so she's mad about those jokes, but no, I had to move out because it was just embarrassing to tell people I was living with my parents, so I was like, okay, I gotta get a roommate. But I couldn't find anyone to live with because all my girlfriends in St. Louis were married with kids or they voted for Trump, and I was just like, I can't do that. Even if I wanted to, your husbands won't let you talk to me, or your And so I was like, who's the only person I know? And Andrew was. So I called up Andrew. He's in New York. And I go, hey, could you like move to St. Louis and live with me? And he was like, I don't know. Let me just like check my sketch. Like he almost did it like, he responded the way if I was like, can you meet me at Starbucks in like a couple hours? Like it was so casual. He's like, I don't know if I'm feeling like it. And I was just like, well, we can start a podcast and like it'll be fun. He's like, okay. Like he's just said yes. He moved to St. Louis, he's my roommate. That's all we are. We're best friends and roommates. People think there's more, there just isn't. If you listen to our podcast, you understand that too. But people are just not convinced of that. And I'm like, I really do believe men and women can be friends, even though When Harry Met Sally is my favorite movie. I do believe that they can't. I'm so grateful for my male friendships because I get insight into the male mind, and especially when it comes to sex and dating, which I talk openly with Andrew about all that stuff, and I learned so much. Like, just the other day, we were talking about him and his girlfriend, and I was like, I asked him, like, what if he does foreplay, right? I first asked him if he had heard of foreplay, because I'm just trying to, like, spread the good word to men, that it's a thing, that if you do it, we'll get really horny and do more things. Yeah, and he knows about it. He goes, of course I got it. Yes, of course I do foreplay. And I was like, okay, good. I was just, out of curiosity, like, what's your favorite thing to do? And he's just like, probably to get things going. I'm like, I like fucking on the couch. And I'm like, okay, well that's not. So please welcome to the stage my best friend, my roommate, my co-host, it's